Here's another case that utilitarianism has difficulties with, but when we see our ethical intuitions, or many people's ethical intuitions, I should say, leads them down a path that Kant's theory actually has an explanation for. But let's think about the case. It's what I call a tax cheat case. A person decides to cheat on his income tax, and he rationalizes his behavior in this manner. And when we're talking about cheating on his income taxes, very wealthy guy is talking about skimming several $1,000s off of it, which is not a big deal. Maybe it's another vacation for him to some exotic place for a weekend or something, give him some relaxation. That's what he's going to get out of it. And he rationalizes his behavior in the following way. He says, look, the government won't be harmed by my cheating on my taxes. Why won't they be harmed? Because the amount that the amount that he is skimming off, that he pays, that he's not going to pay, is negligible. It's not even a rounding error in comparison to all the income tax that the government collects. Okay, and let's assume that the government we're talking, for those who have libertarian leanings, let's assume that the government is a just government. It's not overtaxing people. It's not wasteful of a lot of money, as our existing governments tend to be. But set those aside. Say it's a just government and they're legitimately collecting taxes for what are morally legitimate reasons. Okay, so the point that the guy's making is the little that they're going to miss, the few $1,000s that they're going to miss, is negligible. It's not even what the accountants would call a rounding error in comparison to the total amount of taxes that are collected. And in addition to which, he's going to be happier because he's going to have more money to spend. He'll be able to go on the vacation. So overall, nobody's going to be harmed. One person, namely he, will be happier, and I should mention he is an excellent tax cheat. There is no way in the world that the IRS will ever catch him. He is really good at this. Thus, he concludes it's better for him to cheat on his taxes than to pay the full amount. Now the question is, what does utilitarianism imply about this case? Act utilitarianism, Mill's theory. Well, consider two cases. One case is everybody just pays their tax away, including him. Now, whatever utility level we get that as the utility. Now, if we compare that to the utility of his not paying his taxes, the utility is about the same for everybody else. Let's say he's going to feel no guilt, no pain whatsoever from this, and he's going to have the additional pleasure produced by the vacation that he's taking with the extra dollars that he's skimmed off of his taxes. So it looks like whatever the utility was in the first case, the utility of this one is going to be higher. Now, act utilitarianism says and acts right, if and only if it has the highest utility of any alternative. It does, in the example that we're sketching out, very limited example of sketching out, have the highest utility. So it looks like utilitarianism implies it's morally permissible, for the person to cheat on his taxes. But what do you guys think? I mean, it just, in the case I outlined, if you don't like that, just fill out the details so it works better for you. It looks like it's just not, it's morally wrong. It's not the right thing to do in this case. Why? Well, sometimes I think if everybody did the same thing, the government would not have any money, would go broke, and it wouldn't be able to provide the security services that everybody needs. Pandemonium, anarchy would break out. People would be destroying each other, right? And the other thing that people think about this is, well, you wouldn't want everybody, or you meaning the tax cheat would want everybody to act in this way. So that's in part what makes it morally wrong. Now notice that the point is not that the person's cheating is going to result in everybody else's cheating, because somebody's going to say, wait a second, that alternative, you didn't calculate the utility right, because if this guy cheats, there's going to be a lot of other people cheating and the government's going to be hurt, so you got to take that into consideration. But I'm saying, let's assume the government isn't hurt. It's not going to result in anybody else's. He's really a slick cheater. Everybody's going to think he's an honest and upright guy. And the idea is, if everybody would cheat, that would be wrong on utilitarian grounds. You'd say we've miscalculated the utility. But that's not what we're talking about, because the utilitarian grounds can't explain what's going on, because everybody won't be cheating. So here's another case where utilitarianism seems to give the wrong answer, and there's some kind of intuition that we have that what makes something right is, the fact that the same rules should apply to you, same moral rules apply to you and everybody else. So that's another problem that we're going to see motivates Kant.